Yeah, this is the StewMac rudder base attachment, and it basically has standard Schlage door hardware screws also fit this perfectly. The screws on all the StewMac jigs get worn out pretty easily for some reason, so I just end up replacing them with whatever fits. But this particular little base has a little bushing that spins, and you have the appropriate size bit. You can adjust the height and the depth with this screw over here, and then all you do is follow the perimeter with it. You can use a standard Dremel tool. It works really well. So don't bother with that. Just get this little gadget. It comes with a blade as well, and it's a really good little jig. It's fantastic.
Well, you can buy the whole kit with that.
Yeah, it comes with the Dremel tool base and the actual attachment. And I'm really happy I have it because it saved me lots of trouble over the years and saved me lots of time. But the cool thing with this one is it just keeps on going and going and going, and it makes life easy. So what I'm going to do is start off by measuring how many thousandths of an inch my binding is. And these calipers are the wacky ones. We're looking at something 70 thousandths of an inch thick, 238 thou tall. So it's just shy of a quarter inch. Isn't 238 was the projected thickness of your fingerboard, eh?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I love it when those numbers match up. Okay. So now I've got this Allen key over here. Fits this this one here, and this is just a Canadian Tire brand laminate trimmer. This was made for the Bosch Colt with the variable speed, but the Canadian Tire one was on sale for 80 bucks instead of spending like, I think it was like 249 or whatever.
Most of the Mastercraft stuff I get even is pretty good. Like
yeah, it's totally it's like 3/4 or 7/8 as good as the Bosch or the Hitachi stuff. That I'm sure if I was a Hitachi guy and I was spending 280 bucks, I'd want to justify what I just spent. So I'd argue that mine was better. But no, for the price, then if it breaks, they'll still either replace it or they'll replace it if they don't fix anything. So I'm going to start off with this bit, or this bearing is the third largest. I think it might actually be a little bigger than I want for the first pass, but I'll just do a test cut on a piece of MDF. And for switching it up, I just replaced this washer recently because the old one got squished to death. So just don't over tighten it because it can damage the bit. Thanks. So before I cut, in fact, it looks like it might actually be too big already, but we'll see. And then there's the orange extension cord. Do a test cut over here. I'm going to do a visual inspection first. It actually looks pretty close to what I want, so. I want 238. It's 267. And it's 88. So it's definitely too big of a bearing and too deep of a cut. So first thing I'll do is I'll put on a smaller bearing, or I mean a larger bearing. The second largest, I guess, is the right size. And make sure that it's unplugged before. You don't have to really though, I'm just pretending for safety reasons. So yeah, you always want to make
sure that your tools are unplugged so nobody gets hurt when they're working on our tools.
Just like that shop teacher.
There's one time where somehow the rudder accidentally turned on and I backed away pretty quickly. I don't know what happened, but nobody got hurt. So yeah, that's a good reason to make sure. The last thing you know, you don't want to be changing the bit. You think you're touching the lock, but you're actually like touching the switch or something. That would be very good. So then I'm going to raise it up a little bit. And what I'll do is I'll put this binding aside and raise it up a little more. This is such a shallow cut, I'm going to just try doing it all in one pass. Usually I'll stage it, so I'll do 2 or 3 passes, but you guys, I would recommend doing 2 passes. The biggest bit, then the second biggest bit. Or I mean, a bearing. $206, really? 200 and 80. So it's really 80. Holy Moses! 75. I'm gonna stick with that one for this. I think it'll be good. I like it. Okay, I'm gonna lower it a little bit. Then I'll see if I can. One more time. Depth 249. 238. Raise it up a little bit. That is perfect. Last test cut. The MDF dust is glorious. .233, that's good. So there'll be 0.005 of an inch approximately of extra height sticking up that I'll scrape off later on. And it's within 5 thou of the depth, so that's good. Now, if you look over here in the area where the dovetail is going to be, there's a crevice. And because I'm cutting the binding channel, the concern I have is that if I'm not careful and I let the bearing touch that, it'll have a divot right here. So I'll go all the way around, starting at peaks, but this area here I will avoid. I'll do that with the razor blade and the chisel. So I'll start here, go this way, here, go this way, here, go this way, here, go this way, this way, this way, this way, this way. We can even write it on the pencil. In fact, let's just do that. I can find the pencil again. Okay, so we start here, X for stop, X for stop, X for stop, S for start, X for stop, and S for start. So you'll go this way, this way, this way, this way, and so forth. And you do this, chances are life should be good. So now, we'll turn it on.